Hi, my name is Greg Milner. I'm from Milner College. I'm just going to show you how to put a very simple little square ceramic together. Now I've cut some Hessian ribbon, just cut this insert out, putting it over the foam. We've got a watering spot for the foam so it's not all wedged in. A little bit of a gather here, 0.90 wire, and that just creates a nice little contrast across the base. It's also quick, we're not ribboning up later. Now you might say you could get a bit of water absorption with regard to the Hessian. You might get a little bit, but honestly it's minor, and it can look quite effective even if you do. So just some smaller pieces, creating a line just going across, coming through with a little bit of height in the fishbone fern. Now with the fishbone, make sure the tops are cut off because otherwise they'll droop. So that just creates a little bit of a contrast there. Got some roses coming up in height, and we've cleaned those up pretty much. Any petals that are a little untidy, fix them up. That just gives us a nice little grouping with regard to the roses. Cut them on a good firm angle. Flip this around so you can just see. You can see our base cover there. Turning that back. So that's a feature coming down with the roses. And we've got some kale. The kale has been shaved off so that it's going in, not making a great big hole into the foam. That'll become our focal area. Sitting in. We can also come from behind that, adding a little bit more volume. And we can also come from under. And that creates quite a volume with regard to the kale itself, which is quite nice coming across. Now I'm going to put a little bit of leather underneath just to set up the Hessian a little bit. And by texturally contrasting, it's a little bit of striptamine, which works really, really well with regard to the Hessian and the texture. Striptamine does drink through its heads as well as its stems, so don't worry about spraying it. As in, when I say don't worry, it's a good thing to spray it. So that's just creating a nice little contrast coming across. I'm going to take that through the Hessian just to break it up. Now I've got a couple of tulips here. This is adding cost. These are actually internally wired. Because they're short, so we'll bring those through, and that allows us a little bit of movement on the head. As they grow, again, we don't have the concern of them growing off the wire because it's actually full internal. Again, a little contrast, a little touch of diosma. If somebody is allergic, let's say they're hay fever sufferers, then I'd suggest against the diosma. But other than that, it's a really nice little springtime filler and goes well with the striptamine. What have we got here? It's a little bit of sea holly, just gives a nice little contrast, and we'll use this for a bit of depth. Some nice little simple pieces of sea holly, just gives it a nice textural contrast. Some pitostrum, starting a little bit more up the back of the arrangement. Coming through into the foam. Put that on. Yep, there we go. Now you can actually add to the back of this as well if you choose to, depending on whether you want it to be seen from different angles or whether you're actually constructing it as a front-facing design. Alright, very simply, got the Hessian base there, you can see from the side, coming around, tulips on that side, Hessian towards the back, a little bit of a gap there. If we just put a little bit of moss, very, very simply, coming through here, pack that in, take a hairpin wire, bring it around and take it through. You might do that a couple of times. Now you don't have to dress the box as I mentioned earlier, and you've got just a nice effect. And finally, I'd give it a little bit of a spray. fresh water on an arrangement always makes it look nice and fresh. And there we go. A very simple, quick little ceramic. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you.